Long ago, in the village of Oboni, there lived a great hunter named Enkay. Enkay was highly revered, respected, and loved by all, not only for his skills, but also because of his beautiful daughter, Nwaka. Enkay was married to Oledo and blessed with just one child. Nwaka was as radiant as the morning sun, with skin as smooth as freshly prepared ori. Her grace and elegance made her popular among the village maidens and the boys, of course. From afar, it seemed like Enkay had it all: a happy home, respect from his community, and great friends. Or so we thought. One bright evening, with the moon shining so brightly, it could almost be mistaken for daylight. Ofo, Dika, and Dubem, Nkem's close friends, paid him a visit. Nkem, surprised by their sudden visit, welcomed them eagerly as usual. "My friends, this visit, is it the aroma of my wife's cooking that has drawn you here?" Nkem teased. Dubem, with a serious expression, replied, "Not at all, my friend. We are troubled by something happening in your house. And as your friends, it would anger the gods of our land if we keep silent." "My house?" Nkem questioned, confused. "Yes," Dubem retorted. "You are a respected man in our community, but to put it politely, you are incomplete." "Me? Incomplete? What do you mean?" Nkem, growing angry, demanded. Dubem continued, "You see, a man without a son is never truly complete. Or am I lying?" He gestured to the others for support. "No, you are right," they chorused. Osita added, "Nkem, we know that Waka will marry and go to her husband's house. Who then will care for you in your old age? We are surprised you haven't seen this as a problem until now." Dubem added, "You need to act quickly." Nkem stood up in anger. "Am I the gods that give children?" he replied. "If the gods have willed that I only have a daughter, who am I to argue otherwise? If you have come to my house to insult me, mission accomplished. Now, please go home." "Go home?" Dika roared. "You are asking us to leave? Is there anything more you'd like to add?" Nkem clapped back. "Or is telling me I am incomplete for not having a son not enough of an insult?" Dika, Dubem and Ofo rose to leave. An unusual silence fell between them as they left without bidding farewell. Oledo, who had been eavesdropping from the corner, stepped out to meet her husband. She was visibly saddened by what she had heard. She knew this was only the beginning. His friends would soon pressure him to take another wife. Nkem, seeing his wife's distress, quickly walked toward her. "Oledo, are you paying attention to these drunkards? I am more than satisfied with all the gods have given me. Only a fool would have what I have and claim to be unhappy. Pay these riffraffs no attention. Let's go to bed." The next day, as Nkem and Waka walked to the farm, a group of young maidens passed by. One of the maidens greeted them and turned to Nkem and said, "My father said you are looking for a second wife. If you marry me, I will give you a son in 3 market days." Nkem was stunned and angry that his friends were spreading false statements. Waka shouted at the maiden, "Aren't you ashamed? Reducing yourself to be a second wife? As beautiful as you are, is no one willing to choose you first?" The maiden rolled her eyes and walked away in protest. Throughout the rest of their journey, Nkem was silent, wondering how far his friends would go and the toll it might take on Oledo. 2 days later, Nkem's mother Chizoba Arrived at his house, she called out, "Nkem, where are you? Come and welcome your mother." Nkem hurried out of his hut to greet her. "Mama, welcome. Why didn't you send for me? Your legs are one they used to be, and we don't want you walking long distances." Chizoba replied, "For this issue, my son, I would walk for 7 days through the thickest forest." "What issue, Mama?" Nkem asked. "My son, it's been 18 years since Waka was born. Isn't it time for another child? Don't you want me to hold my grandson before I die?" "Mama, are we the gods responsible for fertility? If it's our fate to have just one child, who are we to challenge it? I am content with what the gods have given me." Chizoba jumped up, shouting, "Nkem, it is not right to have just one child. God forbid. You must give me grandsons, whether you like it or not. In fact, I will go to my village and return with a fertile woman who will bear sons for you." Chizoba angrily left Nkem's house and returned the next day with a woman named Kosi. She motioned for Kosi to set her belongings in Nkem's hut, then turned to him and said, "This is your wife, the mother of your sons. Since you have refused to act, I will do it for you." Nkem, furious, picked up Kosi's belongings and ordered her to leave. But Chizoba threw herself to the ground, threatening to kill herself if Nkem did not accept Kosi as his wife. Seeing his mother in such distress, Nkem reluctantly dropped Kosi's belongings. He walked towards his mother, trying to calm her. "Mama, please get up. I am unhappy with your decision, but she may stay. I will think about what to do." That night, Nkem went to Oledo's hut, leaving Kosi to sleep alone. This continued for some time, and Kosi, envious of Nkem's affection for Oledo and Waka, began trying to seduce him, but with no success. She visited her mother, who advised her to get a charm to make Nkem favor her. Eagerly, Kosi sought out a native doctor and told him she wanted Nkem to hate his first wife and daughter and only listen to her. The native doctor gave Kosi a charm, instructing her to hold it up the next morning, state her wishes, and bury it where Nkem would step. The next morning, Kosi did as instructed. She watched gleefully as Nkem stepped on the buried charm, then approached him with an embrace, thinking it had worked. He pushed her off angrily, shouting, "Go back to your father's house. I don't want you here." Kosi, shocked and furious, returned to the native doctor crying that the charm hadn't worked. The doctor laughed and told her to wait 2 days for the spell to take effect. 2 days later, Oledo, Nkem's wife, prepared food for Nkem and went to wake him. She was horrified by the strange hostile look in his eyes. "My love, what is the matter?" she asked. "What is the matter?" he replied angrily. "You are the matter. Seeing you makes me furious, and to think you are barren as well." He shoved her aside. Oledo sank to the floor in tears. What is happening, she wondered. What has come over my husband? Nkem went to Kosi, put his arms around her, and Kosi smiled. The charm was working. Later that day, Kosi pulled Nkem aside and told him that Waka, his daughter, was the reason he could not father his son. She claimed her native doctor had said that Waka's spirit was too strong, blocking the arrival of another child. The only solution, she smirked, was to kill Waka. Nkem was shocked. "Kill my daughter? No, I cannot do that." "There is no other solution," Kosi insisted. "If you don't do this in 7 days, you will become impotent." Reluctantly, Nkem decided to follow Kosi's advice. He told Oledo that he was taking Waka to the farm to gather palm fruits, as Oledo hugged her daughter, unaware it would be for the last time. Nkem and Waka set off. At the farm, Waka began picking fruits. Nkem climbed a tree with a heavy stone. When he was high enough, directly above her, he dropped the stone. It struck Waka, killing her instantly. Nkem screamed for help, claiming she had fallen and hit her head. Villagers gathered, saddened, whispering about how Oledo would cope without her only child. When Nkem returned home, he coldly informed Oledo of Waka's death. She fainted, and upon reviving, cursed the gods, screaming, if her death wasn't natural, Waka, torment all those who had a hand in it. Do not let them rest. 2 months later, Nkem asked Kosi if she was pregnant. Now that Waka was gone, Kosi assured him that she was, and confidently claimed she was carrying a son. Suddenly, the sky darkened and a strong wind blew. The charm Kosi had buried was exposed and blown away. Immediately, Kosi ran mad. She screamed, "I am not pregnant! I cannot even get pregnant. I was born with a deformity." In her madness, she confessed to Nkem's crime, revealing her jealousy and manipulation. Villagers gathered, horrified, as Kosi ran into the forest, laughing hysterically. Nkem, overwhelmed with guilt, took a rope and followed her into the forest. Meanwhile, Oledo, feeling nauseous, suddenly realized she had not seen her period in months. She was pregnant. The end.